What's up, y'all? It's your girl Blair, and it's an episode of my travel blog series. Today we have featured on the episode Brandon Burchett. We are here today to talk about our top 10 animes. So, starting at 10, being kind of positive, and then number 1 being the the characters, things like that. Number 9. I would go for Dragon Ball. Just the original Dragon Ball. It was very fun. You know, you got to know a lot of the characters from the beginning and stuff. Number 8 would be Be an Angel. It's a really good series. You guys should look it up. Yeah, Be an Angel is a really good series. It's about this guy who has like angel DNA in his body, and at night he turns into an angel and saves people, but there's like another person who's like a dark angel, and he's trying to figure out who that person is and things like that. Number 7. Number 7 would be what would number 7 be? I don't know. Oh, Zatch Bell.
Zatch Bell was good.
Yeah, Zatch Bell would definitely be number 7.
I never finished it, but it was dope.
Yeah, it was good. Number 6 would be Naruto, just for those people who like Naruto out there. But it's a really good series. I just stopped watching it because it was just a lot of episodes. And then number 6, or did I say number 6? Right?
6. You're on 6 now.
Oh, number 6, Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's kind of low.
Oh yeah. Number 6, Samurai Champloo would be number 6 for me. Number 5 would be Yu Yu Hakusho. Number 5 would be Yu Yu Hakusho.
Champloo's gotta be in the top 5. I mean, that's just my personal. I think everybody's different.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. To switch between the two, I think I would put Yu Yu Hakusho at 6 and Shampoo at 5. And then number 4 would be
You gonna say Fullmetal?
no, not yet.
Oh, my bad.
Because that's in like
I said that
that's
too
in my
soon.
top my top 3, you know.
Said that too
Number
soon.
4 would be Rurouni Kenshin. It's a good series. I'm actually rewatching that right now. Number 4 would be Rurouni Kenshin. Number 3 would be Fullmetal Alchemist. Both Brotherhood and the original series. Fullmetal Alchemist is like...
They gotta be different. They gotta be in different spots. You can't put them in the same spot because they follow different plot lines.
That's not true.
I thought you told me the manga Brotherhood was based off of the manga, and the original was like a loose adaptation. So basically,
Yeah.
Brotherhood was more in depth in comparison than Fullmetal, the original Fullmetal.
Okay. Well, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood would be number 3. Number 2 would be... Oh, scratch that. Fullmetal Alchemist would be 4. 3 would be Sailor Moon Stars arc. So the final season. Season 5. Okay. Gotta watch that shit. That shit's dope. Number 2 would be... I had it in my head. Number 2 would be... No, because... Number 2 would be Card Captor Sakura.
What the hell is that? Sword Captor Sakura.
What? You never heard of Card Captors?
Fuck no.
Missing out. Card Captors is about this little girl who came across this book in the library, and it had the different types of cards, and each and every single card had a power.
Yeah.
And she said one card's power, and it scattered all the cards across the world, and she had to collect all the cards in order to be a card captor. That series is... Number 1 is Inuyasha. So only because, I mean, I think this is a very biased opinion because I grew up on Inuyasha, and it was the very first anime I ever watched. Well, technically Pokemon was, but it was the very first anime I ever watched, and it was great. It has a lot of great plot lines and character development. I think it's one of the very much animes that had like a really huge character development from the first episode all the way into the last episode and final act. I really felt like Inuyasha and Kagome and Sango and Roku all have grown in between the series, the seasons, and the movies.
Roku was a real ass nigga.
Sure.
Definitely an awesome character. But also too, I don't know. I think my top 10.
Your top... Why don't you do 5?
My top 5.
Yeah.
Easy. I don't know in specific order, but definitely Dragon Ball Z. Because, I mean, it's DBZ. DBZ has set the pace for an entire new genre. But DBZ, Bebop, Champ Blue. Because I have to rewatch Champ Blue and Bebop every single year.
Yeah.
Those are just like, I have to watch those every year. And for my 4 and 5, or the other 2 in my top 5, Bleach. Yeah, I'm lying if I didn't say Bleach, because Bleach's character development was crazy too, as it progressed, and just like the final like plot and everything like that. Bleach was a really good story. I kind of feel like it had similarities in comparison to like Naruto, but I feel like a lot of animes do that. The main character is like he becomes
the underdog,
more, he's the underdog, and he becomes more powerful whenever his
But that's what makes him likable, you know? Cause
to an extent, but at the same time, it kind of makes some animes, Bleach in particular, Bleach was somewhat predictable for that reason. Besides like the last season, which I would never ruin that, but like, you know, when Isaac, well, whatever, I'm just gonna stop talking about that. But
whereas like it's the difference in Rurouni Kenshin, because we already know that Rurouni Kenshin's strong.
Yeah, there's no.
But he progressively gets stronger.
Yeah.
So he was already the GOAT, but then I don't know, he becomes the bigger goat.
Right. The biggest goat.
The biggest goat.
Basically, yeah. As opposed to other storylines where they start out as weak, like you said, underdog characters who gradually they get a mentor. You know, usually it's like they always get a mentor who takes them to another level. That was in Yu Yu Hakusho. With, I forgot what the old lady's name was. Yusuke's mentor. I can't
and the baby.
And
the baby guy.
Yeah, but he eventually, at some point, I think, whenever they finally do, maybe in the Dark Tournament, I think that's what the name of that season was. I think he eventually like gets his normal body back. I forgot how that whole plot worked out, but
yeah, I remember seeing the baby not a baby anymore.
Yeah. Oh, but some of my other two definitely Yu Yu Hakusho. That would probably be that would be another one of my top 5. So what I said already was Dragon Ball Z.
You said Samurai
Champloo
and Bebop.
Bebop, Hakusho, definitely Yu Yu Hakusho. And also too because the characters were just so cool, like. And then Yusuke's mom was an alcoholic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, like, she was going through it, man.
Yeah, I've never seen another anime character that was just like, damn.
Yeah, like, his mom was really,
some real life
they had
problems.
a hard relationship.
Hell yeah. But, and then 5th, what would my 5th one be?
Inuyasha.
It probably would be. Yeah, I can't even lie. It definitely is in my top, just because I've seen.
I feel like Inuyasha really paved the way for people in our generation. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho came out before we realized what anime was.
I don't know. I think if we're going to get technical, I think Pokemon did.
Yeah.
I think Pokemon was the most accessible for everybody. You know what I mean? Inuyasha still was kind of somewhat for teenagers. But Pokemon was something that little kids, teenagers, you know what I mean, adults who were with their kid, whatever the case may be. And I was like a true anime series, you know what I mean? So I think that I would have to give that respect to Pokemon. But I think that for teenagers or maybe for more mature anime audiences, maybe Inuyasha. But also, too, I would definitely say Dragon Ball Z. I would even say Dragon Ball Z for that.
And Inuyasha, they had more complex names and it was more in depth with the Japanese culture, whereas
Correct.
Pokemon was kind of like Americanized.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Z didn't really have it had a plot line, but it wasn't as intricate and
and it was neutral when it came to culture. It was it was all alien race and things like that.
Inuyasha, which was clearly, you know what I mean, taking place in a certain place, a certain time period.
Right. Yeah.
Which might have made it, less accessible to a couple of audiences because they might have been like, oh, well, there's no futuristic, you know what I mean? It's just kind of just straightforward, set, as opposed to Dragon Ball Z.
So we talked about our top 10 list for animes. You guys can comment below and subscribe to my channel and list what top animes that you guys would suggest to us or things that you would suggest to other people. We both love watching new animes. Something that's not as we're not into cheesy, girly animes. Okay. Well, the only anime that I really like that's cheesy and girly is Sailor Moon. So, but other than that, I'm not into Magica Madoka and Glitter Force and all that crap. Sorry, but something that has a good balance of action and fighting and character development. We really like character development. So, if you can give us an anime, list it below. Give us some shout outs and stuff. That'd be great. Thank you for being on my show today.
No problem. This is what I do.
So, comment, subscribe. Also, you can follow him on Instagram at Brandon_Bally. Brandon_Bally. He has a lot of spoken word content. He posts a lot of good pictures. He's also a photographer. Also, if you want to reach out to him for him to do projects with you, you should check out his Instagram page because he has a lot of really great photos that he is taking pictures of, and he's an amazing spoken word artist. So, go check that out. It's Brandon_Bally, which should pop up right here on the screen.
Bally.
Bally, yes. Brandon_Bally. So, thanks for tuning in and bye.